Hey, it's Friday morning. Here's your weekend Housatonic River report. We got some great weather today. It's actually going to crack 60, blue skies, sunny out. Boy, if I could play hooky today and go fish, today would be a nice day. We're still waiting for the Hendricksons, literally any day now. I live in Torrington, about 20, 25 minutes away from here, and the forsythia started blooming in our backyard yesterday. So and literally any day. When those yellow forsythia bushes bloom, they almost exactly correspond to the beginning of the Hendrickson hatch. I know Southern Connecticut's had them down there for probably at least a week, maybe more. So any day, that usually noticeably picks up the fishing when that hatch starts. I get some of my bigger Housatonic trout traditionally on Hendrickson nymphs in particular. And then as far as when they're rising, when the spinner fall happens, which is a little bit of a fickle event, it tends to be in the evenings. That'll bring some of the bigger trout in the river up to the surface to feed. And sometimes it happens in mid to late morning, but traditionally that's an evening affair. The Husi is once again dropping. We got about I don't know, I'd guess a quarter inch of rain the other day. Kind of made the flow flat yesterday. We dropped another 100 plus. We're down under 1500 CFS. Let me just give you a quick explanation of flows. I would consider the Housatonic fishable for a wading angler at under 2,000, albeit 2,000 would be a high, but it's a fishable flow given adequate clarity. At the moment, I would consider the water to be clear. It's got that greenish early season tint to it. Once you start getting down around 1,500 CFS, the river becomes a lot easier to read, and that's where we're at, just under that, and I expect we'll drop at least another 100, maybe 150, 200 by tomorrow morning, which should put us around, 1,300, 1,200, 1,300, somewhere around there. And a lot of guys don't come here unless the flow is 1,000 or lower. And certainly as you start getting down to 1,000 and below, the wading opens up to more areas. I mean, if I had to pick my favorite flow, it's probably about 600. But if you always wait for a 600 flow, you're going to miss out on a ton of good fishing. I've had a lot of good fishing between 1,000 and 2,000 CFS, wading on foot. And in the boat, when the flow is up, it's really not an issue at all. In fact, for some things, having the flow up's even better for the boat, like if you like to pound the banks with streamers. Right now, you're looking at 100% holdover trout. They haven't stocked yet. There's a good number of trout in the river. They're going to stock next week, probably during the latter part of the week. They put in 9,000 trout. It'll be a mix of rainbows and browns, anywhere from 6 or 8 inches up to maybe 16 inches, plus all the holdovers. And we had a good number of 18-inch plus trout caught last fall, holdover trout, legit. Nice golden browns, some big rainbows. Couple of clinics. We have Aaron has an advanced master nymphing clinic tomorrow. It's going to focus on European style nymphing, also some advanced indicator tactics. That's tomorrow, Saturday, and that is 9 to 5. I have 2 slots left in that. Give the store a call at 860-672-1010 if you want to grab one of those spots. We also have Davey Watton coming the second weekend in May for a 2-day clinic on May 10th and 11th. He's doing 1 day of wet flies and soft tackles, which he is most famous for. He's got several videos on the subject, and in my opinion, he's probably the best living wet fly fisherman on the planet. And day 2 is going to be a day of big trout tactics, and that could be anything from chucking big streamers, like you might think, to more subtle tactics, and the when, the where, and the why for getting in a bigger trout. And big trout is something he knows a thing or two about. He's caught many, 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 many thousands of brown trout over 20 inches. Wild brown trout, which are probably the toughest of all the trout to catch. So it's something he knows a little something about. This is probably about our 7th year we've had Davey back. We get tremendous feedback on his clinics. In fact, most people that take the clinic tell me that the price of the clinic was worth it just for what they learn about how he rigs his leaders, lines, and flies. He's got some unusual but very effective and very simple, fast, efficient ways of doing things. If you want to sign up for that clinic, I still have some openings. Call 860-672-1010. Hope to see somebody here this weekend. We got a chance of showers for tomorrow. That's more so in the morning. It looks like around late morning it drops to about a 30% chance. So it'll be cloudy out in the 50s, and then Sunday the sun's going to reappear. It'll be in the 50s again, but just sun and clouds. Hope to see some of you here this weekend.